Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. If you're joining us on Facebook, please do feel free to ask questions or put comments in the comments on the live stream. For those of you joining us on Zoom, please go ahead and put comments and questions in the chat. I will be relaying them to Lady Charmaine throughout the workshop. So without further ado, Lady Charmaine Day's mission is to help people excel and live their best life possible. Since 2008, Lady Charmaine Day has been the pastor of Unlimited Help Online Ministry, an international 35,000 plus member online ministry done through her app, website, social media, and internet show called Taboo Talk. For more information on Lady Day, please visit her website at www.ladycharmaineday.com. And please welcome, with any reactions you'd like to put out there, our speaker, Lady Charmaine Day.
Hey, welcome everyone. It's good to see you, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. How are you doing, beautiful? I hope this message finds you doing well. I wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you all the time. And that's why I said to Clara, could we do this so that I can come out and spend quality time with people? And she said, of course, Lady Charmaine Day, when. So thank you, Clara. Without Clara, this would not have been possible. I want to thank you for taking the time out for coming and being on this webinar, because it is a participatory one. I'm so grateful for you being here. Let's give you a round of applause. Yay! You are incredible. I want to tell you that the number one person you should be focusing on is yourself, because without you, this world would not be as nice. You bring joy and hope and happiness to so many people. You're uplifting and kind, and you're so wonderful that I think you need to know that you should be number one in your life. And that's why I started Educate, Empower, Enlighten. Enlighten, empower, educate. Educate, enlighten, and empower. So that you can get the knowledge you need to know so that you can be the number one person for yourself. Let me tell you, self-love, self-care, self-love, and I didn't have for a very long time. In fact, for 34 years, I couldn't even stand myself. I hated myself. I thought low of myself, and I had low self-esteem. And that was because of everything that had happened to me up until that point. From 0 to 5, my father was both physically and mentally abusive towards me. Then my father and mother divorced when I was 5 years old, and my mother married my stepfather, who repeatedly raped me and was mentally abusive towards me from ages 5 to 9. The only thing that hadn't been poked, prodded, or touched in any way was my brain. And early on, my teachers told me I was smart and I should go for that. But the kids in school would bully me. They would throw me in the snow in the wintertime. They would throw me in the leaves in the fall. And I kept saying and praying, God, please let this pay off. And it did. In my senior year, I was my senior class president, homecoming queen, yearbook editor, public announcer, and I also graduated number 3 in my class, which was good enough to get me into Cornell University. At Cornell, I worked 2 to 3 jobs. I was very active in student life. One of the things I wanted to do while at Cornell was pledge a Black sorority, and I did. I pledged Delta Sigma Theta. But this was a time when they changed the pledge process to no pledging activities. However, for 13 weeks, me and 12 other girls went through a pledge process. Nationals heard about it. They came in, suspended and fined the girls. They suspended and fined the chapter, and me and the 12 girls that I pledged with, we did not get our letters. So I pledged 13 hard, long weeks to not get my letters. I felt suicidal, but I didn't act on it. I continued to do well and graduate on time, but my family on my father's side noticed that I was depressed. And they were like, oh girl, all you need is a man. A man will cheer you up and make you feel better. So they set me up on a blind date with a friend of the family, who later asked me to marry me 4 months after dating me. We got married a year and a half later. And I would say that that relationship wasn't the greatest. He was always treating me like I was nothing, and I felt like I was nothing. And so that's how I came to start feeling like I was nothing. Zero, didn't matter who you were or what you were. You could take advantage of me. That's what I felt. And then I learned this valuable lesson going to therapy. You cannot love anyone if you do not love yourself. You have to first love and like yourself in order to love and like others. And if you're not loving and liking yourself, then what are you giving out to others? You're giving out a form of the feeling of loneliness that you feel for yourself. So love and like you. And when my therapist said that to me, I started to cry. At 34 years old, I didn't like myself and I didn't love myself. And I said to her, where do I begin to love and like me if I haven't all this time? She said, you got to figure that one out. And she let me figure that one out. So I went home and I looked at my body up and down. And at that time, I was 215 pounds. And I said, ooh, there's nothing really about my body I like, or my mind, which is bipolar, or my head, which is bald right now. So what is there for me to like? And then I figured it out. I like my toes. Matter of fact, I looked down and I said, my toes have never changed. No matter if I'm big or small, my toes remain the same. I love my toes. I appreciate my toes. So I began to nurture my toes and luxuriate my toes till my toes felt loved and liked. And once I did that, I said, this feels good. Let me do it to another part of my body. Let me try my hands. I love and like my hands, I think. And if I don't, I'm gonna start now. And so, my friends, I learned to love and like myself by taking those small baby steps. But that's not what I'm gonna ask you to do tonight. No, we have a formatted program for you to learn what parts about you like the most, what is great about you, and how about you do you want to learn more about? So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to help you by having a self-inventory skills workshop where you're going to learn what you like best about you, what you love about you. And we're going to do that now. Give me a second to pull up the sheet. Okay. All right. So the first question I have for you is, hold on one second. I'm pulling up my teleprompter. They're not as fast as me. Okay. List 3 physical attributes that you like about yourself. Tell me 3 physical attributes that you like about yourself. Do I have any volunteers?
Please feel free to put answers in the chat. I can read them off for Lady Charmaine. I do see the question about what having bipolar disorder is like. We'll definitely get to that later on. I don't want to interrupt the flow, but thank you for your question.
Okay, let me start again. It took me a long time to learn how to love and like myself. It didn't come easy. And what we're going to go through now is a self-inventory, just in case you're not sure you love and like yourself, or to help you love and like yourself more. We're going to go through this together so that we can see who we are, what's the best parts about ourselves, and what's there to like about ourselves, so we can begin the process of loving and liking ourselves. So the first question is, what are 3 things about you that you like most about you? Do I have any volunteers?
We've got a couple. I see Blair's got their hand raised, so we can unmute them in just a second. But a couple of answers we've got: good listener, my hands, my height, and my spirit. Love
Yes.
that. My eyes, my wavy hair, my strong calves.
Yes.
Smile, skin texture. Smile. I see a lot of people saying smile. Everybody's got a beautiful smile.
Yes.
Legs. From Facebook, my nose, my toes, my eyes, another toes.
Ooh, toes in the house.
My brain, arms, legs.
Yes.
Let's see, there's somebody here. Blair, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you if you want to feel free to share.
Yes, thank you very, very much. You have a beautiful soul. I like my shoulders because they're broad. I like my soul because I think I'm a little on the kind side
Praise
towards
God.
animals and things like compassion. And I kind of like my eyes a little bit. And that's pretty much all I can think of.
Well, from here, I think your eyes are beautiful from what I can see.
You spot it, you got it.
And what's so wonderful about your spirit, I love
Thank
that.
you.
Everyone's list that's shared today, let me give you a warm round of applause because it took a lot of courage. Yay!
Got a couple more. We've got another smile, my sense of humor.
Yes.
Awesome. Eyebrows, height, beard.
Nice
curly.
beard.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So this helped you see that you should have at least 3 things about yourself that you like. And if you didn't before, now's a good time to just jot down somewhere 3 things I like about me. Then when this workshop is over, you have that for the rest of your life to get about loving and liking and spoiling those 3 areas that you love most about yourself. Okay, so now it's question number 2. List 2 personality traits that you are happy that you have. Tell me 2 personality traits that you have that you're happy that you have. 2. I'll start. I'm happy that I have a happy personality, and that another personality trait that I have is that I like to listen to what people have to say because I really care. Anybody else would like to share?
We'll let folks take a minute to type, but if anyone wants to, wit and compassion, that's lovely.
Nice.
If 1 or 2 people want to raise their hands to be unmuted, you feel free to do that too. Friendly, caring, I'm funny, I love to laugh.
Yes, laughter is good. Funny is good.
Empathetic, caring and loving.
Yes.
Loving to uplift others. Sense a lot of care and compassion for others.
Yes.
Good listener and an encourager. Honesty.
Honesty, big one.
OCD and future plans in medical fields.
Nice.
Trustworthiness, passion, humor, sense of humor, empathy, resilience.
Yes.
Outgoing, kind, and ethical. Transparency. I think that's great. I think honesty was said earlier as well.
Wonderful.
Love to heal. I don't know if that means love to heal myself or love to heal others, but either way, I love it. Awesome. Genuinely caring for my friends and non-judgmental. Non-judgment is such an important quality. Absolutely.
It's huge.
These are awesome.
Oh my God, this was incredible. Can you believe you said all those incredible things? Wow, that is great. I'm so proud of you. Is there anybody else want to share before I move on? Okay, then we're going to move on to question 3. Tell me 3 skills, talents, or gifts that you have that you're very happy that you have. 3 talents, gifts, or skills that you have that you're grateful that you have. Talents and gifts and skills. Hmm. Well, I'll start off by saying I'm grateful that I can type. My grandmother taught me how to type when I was 9 years old. And I thank God for her doing that because that got me started into typing my whole life. Would anybody else like to go?
Singing,
Sing.
organ, public speaking, and dancing.
Nice.
You, communicating.
Excellent.
Health, reading
Wonderful.
and speaking, crocheting and making people laugh. That's a great.
Yes.
Great under pressure and negotiation skills.
That's excellent skill to have.
As well as communication. A couple of people
Excellent.
said communication. Sewing, writing, and crafting.
Yes.
Playing the piano, teaching exercise.
Yes, exercise good.
Reading and cooking. Different languages. People talk about different languages, public speaking, writing skills, drumming. Drumming, dancing, and writing.
Wow.
Other people talking about language skills and drawing skills. Conversational skills, bringing people together, and
Wonderful.
cooking. People brought up cooking. Peaceful spirit, passion to serve, love to write, and mediation skills.
Passion to serve along with mediation skills is a winner, boy.
Theater, organizing skills, community organizing skills, traveling.
Wow, big one.
Language learning capacity, a couple of people brought that up, and conversational skills, communication skills.
Excellent.
Great communicators here, I can see.
Wow, I am just blown by everybody's wonderful skills. Who am I talking to? Is this the head of the human world? You're incredible. Let me give you a round of applause.
Another skill that someone brought up is praying.
Yes, you gotta pray. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent list. Excellent list. And don't worry if you didn't write down 3 skills, abilities, or gifts. When you have a chance, now you know, you need to know that about yourself. It's important. God gave that to you. God gave you your gifts, your talents, and your skills. And it's important to know what you're working with so you can be grateful. Okay, we're gonna move on. If you had a t-shirt that described you, what would it say? If you had a t-shirt that described you, what would it say?
Give folks a minute to type.
Okay, think about it.
God listens. I am my ancestors' prayers.
Ooh.
Soft-spoken but wild-hearted. Who do he is.
Nice.
I'm doing the best I can and I can do better. It's all about us. Joyful and caring, peace and love, empathetic and loyal.
Ooh.
Passion, Black woman magic, tries hardest.
I love it.
Water. I'm bipolar. Bipolar doesn't have me.
Hey.
Smile and wave. It will be okay. You make plans. God laughs.
I like that one.
Got some great slogans here.
Wow, boy, all of you can go into business for yourselves writing t-shirts because those are some great slogans. Let me give you a round of applause. Yay! You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. This is what you need to do to know who you are and what matters most to you. If you can sit there and think of a slogan that sums up you, then you are ahead of 99% of the population because most people don't have a clue as to who they are or where they're going.
Breaking generational curses. I like that one. Gentleness is power.
Nice.
Someone doing that t-shirt.
Beautiful. Any more? Clara, is that it?
I don't see any more. I'm beautiful, so are you. Love that.
Oh, I love y'all. Y'all beautiful. Okay, number 5. If you had the choice of doing one particular thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Let me put it to you another way. Let's say I gave you $50 million today and you never had to work another day in your life. What would you be doing?
I think that's a tough one. People might need to take some extra time to think.
Think about it.
Oh, here it comes. Traveling.
Yes.
Corporate social responsibility director. Very specific. Love it.
I love it.
Sharing science and math. Sitting on a beach on an island.
Nice.
Program for young mothers.
Oh.
Be of service to others in any capacity. Painting in the garden that I tend.
Amen.
Working to end poverty and hunger.
Yes.
Getting a larger apartment and helping my son. Adding music programs in public schools. Yes. I'll still be working because work gives my life structure and joy.
Good.
Critiquing restaurants. Food critic. Love that.
Nice.
Solve the homeless and hunger problems around the world.
Excellent. All right, those are all beautiful things. And when I answered this question when I was 18 years old for a college course, I said I would be a pastor. And I was really honest that there was nothing else I could think of I would do that would make me happy but be a pastor. But at the time, I remember saying this quite clearly. How can I be a pastor and still make a living? I didn't see the two. So I went on and became a human resources executive instead. And now I'm a pastor. See, you always end up doing what it is you love to do.
Couple more additions: humanitarian work, peer specialist and comedian, working in community to find a cure for mental health disorders through the arts, nice. Working for the full development of young children.
Excellent, excellent. Let me give you a round of applause. And we have done some tough, heavy lifting just by those 5 questions alone, but there's more.
Couple more answers: changing the language we use to talk about neurological phenomena, go to school for nursing.
Nice. All right. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I just said, I don't know if there's any more coming in, but I love all of these so far.
They're beautiful, Clara, aren't they? Okay, number 6, I want you to close your eyes for a few moments and visualize something that would make you very happy at this time in your life. Please let me know what it is when you open your eyes. So first, let's close our eyes and think about what would make us happy. Okay, open your eyes. Did anything come to you? What would make you happy at this moment?
All right, here we go. Trump out the White House.
Yes.
German chocolate cake, a walk on the beach.
Yes.
Getting married. Finding me and loving me more.
Yes.
My son accepting treatment for his mental illness. Ending this pandemic. Oof. Spending time with my teenager who's away from home and my husband. Being together with my family. To have a conversation with my mother one more time. A COVID-free world where I can hug people.
Yes.
My body and living with the one I love for COVID to disappear. Having enough money to pay bills and save for a rainy day. Knowing that my parents and siblings will be okay for the rest of their lives. Flying like a bird. 50 pounds less of me and normal labs.
Yes.
Health.
Well, those are all beautiful. And some of those things we have no control over, do we? But the things that we do have control over, like our weight, what we do with our time, how we exercise what goes into our brains, who is in the White House or not in the White House. Those are things that we did something about. We voted, so we did something about. And second, remember to eat the good, healthy foods. Only eat the best because you're the best. Remember to love and like you to the best of your ability because you are beautiful and you were made by God in God's image. And because of that, I can say you are beautiful. So one thing that you can have right now is to make a choice to believe that you are beautiful and that God made you in his image and that he didn't make a mistake. He made greatness when he made you. Okay? Let's move on to number 7. What is the one thing you really like about the person you call your best friend? What is one thing you really like about the person you call your best friend? What is one thing you really like about that person?
Strength, loyalty, always there for me, honesty. She lives what she speaks. Very supportive, trustworthy, being able to be my weirdest self.
Yes, I like that one.
And make me smile or laugh in seconds. What you see is what you get. Time flies when we're together. Her overwhelming generosity.
Okay, those are all beautiful answers. Now let me ask you this.
Oh, there's a couple more.
Okay, come on.
Can easily tell things I wouldn't want anyone else to know. She listens and is encouraging, has my back, unconditional love. She's also bipolar, knows what's up, cheerful, respectful, balance, understanding, loyalty, love.
Excellent. Now, those are all great things, aren't they? Now, here's the question. Number 8, do you possess the same quality that you listed for your best friend? Now, we're talking about you. What you just said about your best friend, do you possess that same quality?
Yeah, to a fault. Yeah.
Good.
Not as well as she does. She's better at action. Definitely try.
Okay, that's honest.
Yes. Yes, not as better as she is.
That's why they're your BFF.
I hope I do.
Okay. So it's important to know what it is that you like about other people around you in your circle, because whoever you invite in this circle, in this space around you, is coming near you, and you are the best kept secret on the planet. So we can't have any old body by you. No, we have to have the best people by you. And so apparently your BFFs are really great people because you're really great. And that's what I wanted you to see. Okay, number 9. If you could instantly change one thing about yourself, what would it be and why?
I think everyone's typing out some long explanations. I know what I know now 20 years ago. I would like to sleep beautifully straight through the night, every night. I need to stop doubting myself and trust my talents.
Yes.
Scared to take chances and more carefree. pain levels that limits me from serving our communities more, say what I feel and learn to say no. I would like to live eternally at age 25. Lack of focus, less anxious and more comfortable being emotive and connecting. My confidence, so I can be assertive and not as fearful. Being too kind and being free to others, understanding me and staying focused.
Mm-hmm.
Caring less about what other people think.
Okay.
I want to stop being so generous because I do without more times than I want to. I want my mental health issues to not define me, not to hinder my life goals. Stop doubting my abilities to be the best I can be because I'm just as strong as I used to be and more. With force, making sense.
All right, well, I'm going to stop right here for a second and just say a lot of people said that they doubt themselves and they would like to have more confidence. So let's talk about that right here and right now and address that. How you can have more confidence is in choosing what you believe is true about you. Confidence comes when you believe the truth about yourself. When you don't believe the truth about yourself and you feel unconfident and unsure. But when you are confident, you know what you know, nobody can shake you. So how do you get to that? It's by choosing to believe that you're a child of God. Not so-and-so's wife, not so-and-so's husband, not so-and-so because of title, not so-and-so because of volunteership, not so-and-so because of illness, but simply make yourself a child of God. And if you believe that you're a child of God, that God made you in his image, then you have to know that he did a good thing. Because when he made you carefully in your mother's womb. And he made you on purpose. There's a purpose for your life and there's a purpose for your being here. And there's a purpose why you came to this workshop today, to learn this truth, that you are a child of God and that your body also is the temple of God and that you should take care of your temple and do right by it. So then you can get confident. When people try to say you don't have the authority to speak, you're like, hold on a second. I'm a child of God. I have the authority to speak up because God is my God. And then when people say you don't have the right to say what you say, hold on a second. My body is the temple of God. I take care of it by doing such and such and such and such. So this is why I can speak. You see where you get more confidence just for those two things alone? Did that help somebody with their doubts?
There's a follow-up question, which I think is good to address. How can we release the fear of judgment by others?
Okay. When you realize that no one else but you is paying your bills, you'll let go of judgment. Because in the end of the day, when your bills are due and you're making out those checks, nobody else is sitting there doing that but you. So nobody has the right to judge you. And if you shouldn't be concerned about anybody else either, because when it comes to the downtime, it's only you with you. And so you're taking care of yourself. You're responsible for yourself. Therefore, your opinion of you matters the most, not what anybody else thinks.
See a couple of folks relating to that.
Okay, good.
What people think of you is none of your business.
Hello.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to move on. Number 10, what is the one thing people say to you about how you impact them most frequently, and do you agree or disagree? I'll say it again. What is the one thing people say to you about how you impact them most frequently, and do you agree or disagree? Why?
I see someone, I think in reference to feeling, to letting go of the fear of judgment. It's hard when it comes from family members, which is true. It's very hard to let go of that judgment. Just in response to the question, the way that you impact people, one person says, people feel comfortable with me to open up.
Do you agree with that?
I agree. Yes, I think so. I am a straight shooter, and I agree with that. People say I always take time to reach out to others. I agree with that. That I make them go watch cat YouTube videos, and I agree with that. A couple people saying that they are, that they feel, they are told that they're an inspiration, that they're they're told they're a team player and unite others.
Yes. Well, those are all beautiful. And I think they're all true. So how do you feel about that? Well, now that you're hearing yourself saying, well, you're not saying it, Clara's saying it, but hearing it said out loud, how does that make you feel?
People say I inspire them with my lifestyle, and I appreciate the compliment, but I downplay it because I don't like being put on a pedestal.
Good. I understand that, but there's nothing wrong with being acceptive of compliments as long as you keep being humble. And I like that you don't want to be on a pedestal.
One person says it makes them feel powerful.
Yes, that's good.
Hear how they impact others.
Excellent.
I feel good and wear it lightly.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. And what would you like people to remember most about you when it's all said and done? What is the legacy you want to leave behind?
I'm gracious for all my skills and talents, that I never gave up on them, that I cared about helping others. She put her spiritual life first. He loved chicken. Are that I never gave up and I'm a winner, that I was loving and compassionate, that we shared some good laughs, that I said what I meant and meant what I said.
Yes.
That I shared my deep self in service of others, that I left the world less cruel than I found it, that I lived my values, that a best dressed cat in the block made everyone smile and laugh.
Yes.
That I was full of love and I extended that love to everyone.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know, some of these are coming from Facebook, so shout out to our Facebook viewers.
Hey, Facebook!
These are all some great aspirations.
Okay, is that it?
That's all I'm seeing.
All right, well, let me tell you, the reason why it's important to talk about legacy when you talk about loving and liking yourself, because once you start loving and liking yourself, and hopefully today's workshop got you thinking a little differently about love and liking you, that you do now see it's important to love and like you, and it's important to care about yourself. And once you know that you love and like you, you'll start wondering, well, what am I going to leave behind for the next generation? What am I going to do for those people coming behind me so that they don't have to go through what I went through? Or simply, what can I tell someone so they don't have to walk a mile in my shoes? Legacy is important. So that's why I had to talk about that today. And I love that everyone says something that they can leave behind, something that is tangible, something that is reasonable and is beautiful. And I'm so proud of you. Let me give you a warm round of applause. Excellent. Sit down. Oh, thank you. So check-in time. We have 15 minutes left. I want to give you the opportunity to ask me any questions that you might have about loving and liking yourself. And at this point, before I continue on,
So
do you have questions?
There was one question back a little ways from Facebook, and I'm going to go ahead and find it again. That was about faith, and asking you, how has faith helped you with mental illness? Can you give examples of some good practices to follow that you've engaged with?
Oh, that's a great question. Faith has helped me with my mental illness because it took a long time for them to get my medicine correct. And so I had faith in God that a solution that would make me be the best me possible would come along. 15 years is a long time to not have the right meds. So that was 15 years of a walk of faith and believing that one day God would get me to the point where I didn't need to worry about the side effects of my medication, that I would no longer have side effects. And so I prayed that in 1997, that I would no longer have side effects. And that didn't happen until 15 years later. But it happened. And so I say that faith is believing in spite of what you see and believing the good things in spite of what you see. Because sometimes good things take a while to get to you. They don't happen overnight. They don't happen easily. Sometimes they have to go through a couple of things before they get to you. So the thing is, you having faith means that you're standing up and believing that whatever God has intended for you will definitely meet you at the designated time, on time, because God sent it. Faith has helped me with my mental illness, not only with my medication, but with my walk with myself. I had faith that one day I would love and like myself. I prayed to God to give me the strength to learn how to do that, and He did. And so my gift to Him is to turn around and tell you about it, and tell as many people as possible, love and like yourself because you're a child of God. And God didn't make any mistake when He made you. He did a great and beautiful thing. Sorry.
As a follow-up to that, I think one question that has come up is if you could provide us sort of a short, simple explanation of what having bipolar disorder has been like for you, so that the audience can sort of understand the experience.
Yes. Bipolar disorder for me has been between up and down, manic and depressed. When I'm manic, and mania is when I'm walking and doing things outside of my normal, and I'm walking fast, I'm talking fast, I'm having visions of being the Queen of Egypt. The last time I was manic, it was in 2009. I thought everyone should be building me a pyramid because I was the Queen of Egypt. Then I put on my wig, my head was shaved. I put on my wig, I put on my slippers, and I didn't walk out the door with anything else on but those two things. And I walked down several city blocks, and I went into a restaurant and told people there where they were fired. I did some things when I was manic. When I was depressed, and I spent a lot of money that I didn't have to spend, I spent it anyway. When I was depressed, I wouldn't get out of bed, I wouldn't shower, I wouldn't care about anybody or anything, or especially myself. And because I had low self-esteem, when I started smelling bad and looking bad, a beard would grow under my chin, a mustache would grow under my mouth, my lip, and I would look like a man, and I would feel horrible. So that's what manic was, and that's what depressed was for me. Now I'm in between. I'm really at a balanced place where I'm neither manic nor am I depressed. I have my days when I speed up a little bit, or when I don't feel like getting up and doing anything. But for the most part, I'm balanced.
Great, thank you. Also a follow-up to that, how did you forgive yourself after having manic episodes?
Good question. I'll talk about the last incident. How did I forgive myself for walking down the street naked? How do I forgive myself for saying things that weren't true about people who are good people? How do I forgive myself for all the bad things that went along with mania that I didn't like and that happened anyway? I forgave myself because I knew if I was well, I would never have done any of that. So I could forgive myself because I asked God to forgive me, and I forgive myself because I wouldn't do it if I was well. I know I was sick.
Another question, more generally about self-love, is self-love something that we have to continue to work on?
Yes. Now that you're on the path of self-love, every day you got to get up and love and like yourself and appreciate yourself. When you look you in the mirror, have a smile on your face and appreciate that beautiful person looking back at you. Love and like you every single day for the rest of your life. Yes, it's an ongoing thing.
Another question, an audience member is saying, my sister in Oklahoma is going through a very tough time right now. She suffers from depression. What should I tell her to do or go for help? What's been helpful for you when you've been in those depressive states?
Well, what I could tell her is NAMI is in all over the place, including Oklahoma. So I would suggest that your sister go to NAMI, because what's been most helpful for me is my NAMI family and my NAMI being there for me. And being able to go someplace where other people have mental illness makes you feel like you don't stand out in any way, but with love. And so it's just nice to come and be a part of the NAMI family. And so I would recommend she go there because I know there would be someone there who would care about her and help her.
I would add to that, Antonio, something that I know I found very helpful is having people who I know that I can talk to, who will listen without judging, without trying to fix the problem. And I know people that I'm close to who deal with depression have said that it's just really helpful to have somebody listen without trying to fix it, because it's, so that's what I would add to that.
Thank you, Clara.
There are lots of questions, so let me so two questions, two sort of shorter questions. One of, if you know of any women's group, that women's spiritual group that you can recommend. And June put a shout out to the NAMI NYC Spirituality Speaks group, although that's not a woman specific group. But I don't know if you have any other recommendations you'd like to make, Lady Charmaine.
In terms of a women's spiritual group, there's the Sistership that's ran by Deborah Crawford on Facebook. And they're totally a women's group, women oriented. And they're really helpful and really nice, and they do a lot of community activities, and they're very supportive of each other. So the women's group that Deborah Crawford has on Facebook is really good.
Okay, great. We'll try and write, if you have a moment, Lady Charmaine, maybe could you type that out into the chat for so you can find the name? Great. And one other question, a follow-up to, I'll let you do that for a second. There's a follow-up question about your most recent manic period, about forgiving yourself. So someone was curious if you still live in that neighborhood where you walked around without any clothes on, and how that affected your ability to forgive yourself.
Yes, I still live here, and yes, I still see the people who saw me naked. And my mother said to me when I was in the hospital, she said, what are you going to do now? You're going to go back home and you're going to be around those people who saw you naked. Oh my God, what are you going to do? I'm like, I want to hold my head up high because I was sick. And everybody knows me, knows I would never do that if I wasn't sick. So I'm going to walk around and say hello to that neighbor who saw me naked and did nothing but watch me be naked. And I'll say hello to those people who could have helped me, who did not. Because sometimes people don't know what to do. But I'm not going to leave my home of all these years out of shame, because I'm not ashamed. I didn't do anything wrong. I was sick.
A question from Facebook. What is the very first thing you do as a practice on for self-love when you wake up in the morning?
Thank you. I love that question. The very first thing I do in terms of self-love is I thank God for the gift of life and waking up to see another day. I thank God for everything and everyone in my life. And I thank God for the ability to try another day to be a good person. And that's the first thing I do for self-care and self-love is I make connection to God. That's how I feel I start off self-loving and liking myself.
Well, that's the last question I see, but if I've missed anything, it's been a lot of very kind comments and gratitude for everything that you've shared thus far in the chat. If there's any questions that I've missed, please feel free to repeat them, because I know sometimes things go by very quickly. Okay, a couple of additional questions. How has being married helped you?
Being married has helped me tremendously because I have someone who cares about me, who loves me for me, and appreciates me, and who knows me all my life. My husband, Warren, and I went to school together. He's my best friend in high school. We knew each other since I was 12 years old. So that's really nice. So when we make jokes like Wonder Twin powers unite, we both know what a Wonder Twin power is because we both saw Super Kids when we were little. Now, we weren't the same age, and if we weren't from the same place, things wouldn't click as easy as they do between us. And he really is my best friend outside of my BFF, Gina.
Another question. Society tells us we need to please others because others are the ones who promote us at work or judge us for our performance. So how can we reconcile this with the lessons that you talked about before about releasing the fear of judgment when other people's judgment might have real consequences for us?
Okay. Loving and liking you, there is no negative in that. Because if you love and like you, you're taking care of you. And in an airplane, when an airplane is going down, they say first put the mask on you, then put the mask on someone else. But first you gotta be together. And worrying about other people response to a new and improved self-confident you will be that those people will respect you because you respect yourself. And people treat you differently when you treat yourself differently. When you respect yourself and you only take in certain things and you set up boundaries for yourself and you say, I'm worthwhile, then those around you will see you as worthwhile too. And you'll only attract those that are attracted to someone who is as confident as you are and can take that. And in terms of work, as a former HR executive, I can tell you that people, your workers, have nothing to do with you getting a promotion. It's your manager. And if you have a good relationship with your manager, then everything will work itself out. So I encourage you to have good relationships with your coworkers, of course, but to have the best relationship with your manager, because there are people that make sure you get paid and you get promoted. Now, I just wanted to say very quickly that all the material that I shared with you today can be found in my book, Lady Day's Pearls of Wisdom. It's the first pearl that I talk about, self-care and self-love. I go on to talk about happiness, peace of mind, healthy lifestyle, self-growth, and how to have love and romance with your special person. So these are all topics I cover in this book, Lady Day's Pearls of Wisdom. And I ask that you get your copy at my website so I can send you a hard copy. Thank you.
All right. Are there any last questions before we wrap up? These have all been really wonderful questions, so thank you so much, everyone, for asking. When did you move out of your family's home?
When I was 18 years old.
All right. I think so. It looks like that's. We'll give everyone one more minute to put any questions in, but if anyone has follow-up questions after the event, I'm going to put my email in the chat, CKIELY@NAMINYC.org. So if you have follow-up questions, you can always send them to me. But Lady Charmaine, do you have any last words to close us out?
Yes, you are special. You are precious. You are worthwhile. And I thank God that you came to this workshop today, that I could tell you that in person, because you are simply a gift from God. Loving like you, appreciate you, treat yourself best because you deserve it and nothing less. I want to thank you for spending this hour with me. I want to thank you for participating and being a part of this. I thank you for going through all the questions and all your answers. They were phenomenal. I wish you God's blessings in all areas of your life. And I thank you for taking the time to be with me. God bless you.
Thank you to all our audience members, and thank you to, of course, Lady Charmaine Day. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.